All right. Hey, y'all.
Hey, we've been cutting up, y'all. So, welcome everyone. We're back for our second episode of Unscripted with Nurse Besties.
Yes.
And as before, I am Nurse Bestie, Calm Crystal Wellness, and my lovely co-host.
Hello, everyone. It's Jessica Renee.
Hey,
Hey,
welcome
girl.
back for episode 2.
Yes. We had such a good time the first episode. I'm really excited for this one.
We did. Like the first episode just like flowed so well. I had a good time. Everyone else seemed to have enjoyed it
Yes.
as
Yes.
well. Thank you all so much for the responses and the
Yes.
comments that you left, the likes and the shares and just the love that you showed. We are so appreciative of that.
Yes. Absolutely. It was good. It was good.
Yes. Yes. Oh, and some of you that reached out in regards to coming on the show, we got you. We got some things lined up that's
Yes.
coming down that'll be coming really soon. So we
Yes.
do have some special guests lined up for you all in our coming episodes. So thank you
Yes.
to our special guest that reached out and was interested and ready to rock and roll with
Yes.
us.
Yes. We're excited. We're excited. So many good things that will come from this podcast. So definitely,
Yes.
stick with us. We here.
We are here and we're
We
here
here. We're
to
rocking and
give you
rolling.
the real deal. Um,
Yes. Your safe space.
Absolutely.
Let's
Those
talk about what's
conversations,
going on.
exactly. Those critical conversations, those challenging conversations that you want to have, that you may want to have with your family, but you can't really have them because they don't really know what it's like to be in the world of nursing or
Yes.
just in the world of healthcare, point blank, period. Because they
Because
may
it's
be looking
different.
at you like, exactly. They may be like, trust me, it's different from if you have someone that works in the banking world. They're definitely not going to
Oh,
understand.
yeah. Yeah. They're not going to know all the personalities, the everything. Yeah. You just need to come here. All of
Yeah.
that to say, like, subscribe, follow, add
That
all
part.
all the stuff on YouTube. Like and subscribe because you don't want to talk to us. Be here. Come on, come and sit with us. Let's all be besties together.
Absolutely. You are welcome here. Like
Yes.
Jessica Renee
Open
said, this is
arms.
your safe space.
Yes.
It's
Come
your safe
in.
space.
Virtual hugs.
So, Jessica Renee, what we getting into tonight? What's our topics for tonight? What's the first? Let's start there. What's the
Let's
first
start
topic?
there. So a lot has happened since we talked last. Um,
Tell me about it.
so we definitely thought we were going to go in a different direction for topics tonight, but then I don't know, we had like a major election that I don't know, threw me for a loop. I
It
wasn't
definitely
expecting it. I wasn't ready.
I wasn't
And
ready.
so then we had to shift a little bit because as Black women in nursing, is definitely, but more so as Black women, we are affected and we still have to show up. And yeah, in the safe space that we have created, we want to talk about it. But yeah, let's talk about the election. In general, we won't go off in a tangent because
No,
we could,
but it's
but
not even
how
worth
are
it.
yeah, how are you feeling? Let's start there. How are you feeling? How were you feeling and how are you feeling?
So, upon initially receiving or seeing those results
Yeah.
the following day, because I'm gonna be honest, I went to bed because when I saw like, them calling different things, and I was like, okay, I see where it's going, so I'm gonna just go to bed. And
Right.
so when I woke up the next morning and saw that, and instantly I just kind of like, um, I was saddened, but
Mm-hmm.
also like a little bit of anxiety or anxiousness because it's like, um, the things that this campaign, some of the things that were said, inciting like different exciting violence,
Right.
hateful, the hateful language, the negativity. And
Mm-hmm.
so it's like, what will the next 4 years look like for
Right.
me? Not just for me, but my family, you know what I
Right.
mean? Um, and then like what does it look like for me and my friends, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like for you or for my daughter, my nieces, um, and so like I think I was more saddened and heartbroken by that part
Mm-hmm.
because it was like women's, you know, we were on the ballot. So
Right.
why wouldn't you show up for yourself? If you don't show up for nobody else, if you have a
Right.
daughter, and I'm like I said, we're not gonna go off on a tangent, but if you
Right.
have a daughter, why wouldn't you have shown up for not just even your daughter, for
Yeah.
yourself?
For
For even
yourself.
if you're of childbearing age, if you if you
Yeah.
don't plan on having no more kids, or if you don't have any kids,
Mm-hmm.
why not just show up for yourself? I'm sure somebody has a niece, um,
Somebody.
a goddaughter.
Mm-hmm.
Why not just show up for them to make
Right.
sure that they're okay?
Yeah.
And and it's almost, and some of the things like that were being said, like, oh, she can't run a company, just the
Mm-hmm.
negativity. And it's like it's crazy to think that in 2024, about to be
Mm-hmm.
2025, women are still viewed as um inadequate
Mm-hmm.
to run companies, organizations, to run
Right.
the world, to run
Literally. Even though
the
we do
free
it,
world. So yeah, it was very crazy. And I think
yeah.
that's what really saddened me the most is that like we as women, just, women in general, and on top of that, Black women, it's like
Mm-hmm.
we are looked at as inadequate, and we are the most educated. And it's not a lie. You can go look that up. You can
Mm-hmm.
research it. The
Oh
research
yeah.
is there. We are the
Correct.
most educated group of people in the United States. So,
Right.
you know, I mean, you looking at two people sitting here in
Mm-hmm.
front of you. I have one, two, yeah, one, two, and getting my, completed my third degree.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
congrats to me. So
Yes.
we'll be having a graduation party
Yes.
next week, giving
Oh
thanks
yes.
for that and celebrating the
Oh, that's gonna be
graduation.
so
So
good. Yeah.
yeah, so like I have three. I know Jessica Renee has some as well. So like I mean, I know, and not just I know women that just have
Yeah.
more
That's just
than
doing
that
it.
have more than me and her put
Right.
together. So, and I'm
Right.
not even going to get into like the doctors,
Yeah. Yeah.
because they, you know what I mean? They have several degrees, and then you're getting into the certifications that some of
Mm-hmm.
them have. Not just talking about the doctors, but nurses, MPs. So
Right.
it's like,
Yeah.
and I think that's what really kind of that's where my frustration lie
Mm-hmm.
was in that.
Right. Right. Yeah, I agree with everything you said. I was hopeful. I really was.
Yeah.
I
I
really
was
thought we
like,
were gonna pull it through. But then I'm not trying to make light of the situation at all. But I'm crazy. I was watching it and I was like, Rush, she's like 1,000 points behind. Like,
what's
what are we
really
doing?
going
When I
on?
woke up and the whole map was basically red. I was like,
I was like, what in
Did
the
we
world?
did we come out? Did we show up? Did we like
That's what I was
nobody?
wondering. I was
Were we not watching like all the phone calls, all the text messages? Everybody said they was responding. Somebody was not responding. Like this whole thing. So after I seen that and the whole minus a couple states being blue, it's like, oh, this is what they want. This is what it is. Was I hurt? I was upset. Yes, 100%. Um, because I really did. I really thought that she was gonna pull it through. But on the other end, I decided to I got off social media for that day, probably for a couple of
I
days.
did
Had
too.
to
I
had to
was off for a
disconnect.
whole week.
Yeah, had to disconnect. But then I was also focusing on the positives, like
Mhm.
on the, and I know we'll talk about it later, but on Black women, we did our part,
Yes.
and we can rest in that. Even her, like we only had, I know it was like a couple videos where they're like, she only had a certain amount of days to campaign. We didn't have much time to
Absolutely.
prepare. I can't remember the exact number, but it was like 100 and something, or somewhere around there. And all that she, in that little bit of time, already kind of like what we had talked about the last time, we have to do so much more.
Yeah.
Like this was the perfect example of that. And I'm proud of her. I'm proud of those of us that did
Absolutely.
show up. I'm proud of, this wave of us resting. And
Baby,
so,
because
I
I'm
like
resting.
I'm okay with that. Is it difficult? Yeah, yes. But at the same time, even when me talking to my brother one day, he was like, we made it through the first 4 years, right? And we're gonna pray that we make it through the second because we are.
Right.
We're just gonna be more informed,
We
and we're gonna do what we've been doing. And this is what,
absolutely.
at the end of the day, this is what people wanted. So hey, whatever happens,
Get somebody
we
else to do
tried.
it
We,
these
I mean, a
next
few
four
of us tried.
years.
I don't know. Everybody was freaking red. I was like, what? Like, bro, what? What happened? But this is what y'all want. So let's rock out with what y'all want. Let's go for it. Let's see that's my attitude right now. This is what you wanted. So, as stuff rolls in and as we learn more, and I know we'll definitely revisit the topic again as different things unfold. Um, Everything I listen to, I'm like, oh, this is what the America wanted. So here we go.
Yeah. And I just want to chime in and say, like, in regards to we're gonna be, we are resilient.
Absolutely.
Our ancestry, our ancestors, like we come from a resilient
Hmm.
line. So, our people are resilient. We make something out of nothing. And
Yeah.
so we will be okay.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
You know what
We'll
I
be
mean?
okay. And
So,
we kind of talked about we'll be more involved, more informed. I know that's one of the
hmm,
things that I'm doing
yeah,
is actually being more informed on what is going on, being more aware, um, to prepare for the next election, maybe even get more involved outside. Of course,
maybe run
voting
for
is in
an
our part.
office.
Whoa, yes.
No, you.
Oh, I
I'll
can,
be
well,
your
because
campaign manager.
girl, first off, when they see my Tinder and Bumble history, I'm out the game.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
That alone.
I don't think
What?
that's gonna matter. You see,
You're right. Yes,
I'm not even
it
gonna
matters.
get
You're right.
into
I'm
this
with you.
other stuff, but I don't think that's gonna matter. But
You're
then again,
right. You're right.
that's a double standard. That's a double
Correct.
standard.
Correct. Because we do have a felon. So who knows? Maybe I'll learn enough in the next 4 years. We can rally my exes and we can like put on a show and support. So,
I got you.
qualifications are out the window now. So you're right.
Girl, your qualifications would be like just icing.
Yeah. Apparently, it
I
doesn't take much. It doesn't
It
take
don't
much
take
to
much now
hold
no more.
a presidential office. So, shout out to whomever wants to run next. Honestly, it shouldn't matter.
But in all seriousness, definitely
Right.
if you're not involved, get involved.
Yes.
Even if you are in healthcare, because please understand that the decisions and just really quick, I want to touch on the individuals that he has nominated to go to
Yes.
be over HHS and CMS, and you got to understand CMS falls under HHS, okay?
Hmm.
So these are the things. So just so you get an understanding, these these two things, we as healthcare professionals, we look to these government entities to basically, they're supposed to be the ones to direct how
Just right,
care, yeah,
regulate.
direct
Mm-hmm.
and regulate. And the words that I'm looking for is to enhance and advance medicine, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what their purpose is.
Right.
And the research and all of that good stuff. And if you have, depending on the type of university you've attended, a lot of universities are heavy in the research. So you may have, if you were like in any, like if you're in nursing or any science type of
Mm-hmm.
background, you're going to be doing a lot of research papers on
Right.
top of your clinicals, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, and just I know you have to write those research papers, and it's important to look at like if it's peer reviewed. So if it's a
Mm-hmm.
scholar, a scholarly article or
Right.
research that was done. And a lot of times you end up on um the websites like the NIH, which is
Mm-hmm.
another, like, they do research. And
Right.
a lot of the grants to conduct the research comes from these particular um government,
Right.
this particular area of the government. And so, it's important to know, you
Right.
may think like, oh, I'm a nurse, that don't, it does affect you. It
It does
affects
affect
how
us.
your patient's outcomes. It
Mm-hmm.
affects what you
Yeah.
utilize, like the interventions you're going to be utilizing. It's going to say like, hey, like this is the uh best practice.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we like to call it. This is the best practice of how to treat XYZ, or this is the
Right.
best practice to do for a patient that's undergoing XYZ. And
Mm-hmm.
so when you have individuals that are in these type of positions and they don't necessarily believe in science backing
Mm-hmm.
best practices, then you have a lot of things that are done
Evidence.
that's done willy-nilly, basically.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
don't know about y'all, but I
Yeah.
want I want the best practice.
100%. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if America does or not. So we'll see.
I want the best practice,
Yeah,
okay?
yeah, individually. And individually, we want the best practice, but overall, we don't know. We don't know. But yes, everything you said is correct. Like we do need to be aware,
Mm-hmm.
informed, because we don't know how things are going to be affected. We are going to
No.
hope and pray that nothing moves fast, and you know how it goes over the next, it usually takes some time anyway. Like I said, I'm we don't want to get into all the branches and how all that stuff goes,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
usually it takes some time.
I
If you
tried to give
never
a
really
simplified version so
right,
people could understand. Don't want to
right,
get, because then after a while everybody will be sleeping and be like,
yeah,
I don't really care.
right, right.
But
But we
to give
hope
you a
we
simplified, to understand, help you understand that this is
this is
where the mandate. So like if your insurance company, they, you know what I
mm-hmm,
mean? How
right,
the, and just can definitely vouch for that. Like this is
right.
how, like, the how things are done in insurance or MCO, managed care
Mm-hmm.
organizations. It comes
It
from
could all be
CMS.
right,
It all trickles down.
right.
HHS, CMS, and then to it
Mm-hmm.
gets the
Yeah,
information gets,
yeah. So it could
sent
all
to
be affected.
everybody.
And so, as I said, we all just gotta, we just gotta stay informed, stay connected, even if it's not your jam and it's not your thing. Just to kind of do a little listen here and
Yeah.
there, check in, see what's going on, just to
And
to
it
let you
don't
know what's going
hurt.
on. Yeah, it don't hurt. It don't hurt. It's definitely one of my goals, to be more informed. And even I love a good podcast. So if you want to take this, I love a good podcast. Get a political podcast, something that you can listen to, somebody that's non-biased,
Right.
and just kind of get listen to it, make it a little bit more fun. But yeah. So even with that, I guess we can move
And
on.
yes, we're gonna move on. But right quick, I always want to take an opportunity to point out opportunities for career advancement.
Okay, yes, good.
So right here, to just piggyback off of what Jess said in regards to getting more involved. If you have an interest, or once you get more involved and you feel like, hey, this is something I like, there are nurse lobbyists. So a nurse
Yes.
can be a
Yes,
lobbyist.
yes.
So job
Hmm.
alert.
Yeah, yeah. And if you get into that, let us know. Let's come back and
Yeah. Come back and
or
let
if
me
you're
know if
already
you did
into
get
that.
it. Did you get the
Yeah, let's
job?
yeah, come in. Let us know like how that goes because that is very true. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
All right, now we can move on. Sorry.
Okay,
I
so
just,
let's
I'm always gonna plug a career advancement opportunity for our nurses.
yes, absolutely, absolutely. So yes, just to piggyback off of all that we have already discussed, we definitely want to touch base on being Black healthcare workers in this climate. Um, so really just what do we say? Navigating, what's our title? Navigating the workplace
Workplace.
post election
Yes.
because climate is different, but we still have to show up for work. We still what's the word?
We
Girl,
still
you
have
just we can be frank. So basically,
we still gotta show up and make it do what it do.
right.
In simple form.
In simple form, I think uh how are we going to take care of people? How are we going to work with people and maintain our sanity? I think for a lot of us, just in Black women, working the day after the election, um,
It was a lot.
was rough. Yeah.
It was a lot. And like people driving like I've never really and I'm gonna be honest, I've never really paid attention like as much before prior to like Trump ever like coming
Hmm.
into the picture like years prior, like even like with Clinton and stuff. I never like remember like people have like made have had like the campaign
Right.
signs in the yard or might
Hmm.
have had the bumper stickers or whatnot,
Right.
but like this is a whole different
It's
like
completely different.
beast,
I
right?
think it was
Because
more
they're
of a healthy balance. Like
yeah,
we're not saying like you can't have different political views. That's the whole point, right?
right.
People are going to be Republican, people are going to be Democrats. It is the extra that comes with it.
Right. That's yeah.
Racism, the entitlement, the
They had people walking what down the street, where was it? Ohio with
yeah,
swastika
yeah,
flags.
yeah,
Like
like that stuff. All of
that
that stuff
stuff
has
is too
nothing.
much. That's too
The things that
much.
have nothing to do with the actual
Right.
plans and politics of it all. These things, the hatred, the all of it, the slurs, like all of the stuff that's going to hinder us
Yeah.
um in our day to day because again, we got to show up to work. Your the doctor that you go to see could be a Trump supporter. Could have, and we're not like Trump supporter, not a Republican political view. Like not saying that you can have differences of opinion, but
Right.
the things, the racism, the hatred that Trump is bringing out of people, um, those are people that we work with. Those are people that we have to, bandage their wounds and talk to their family members. So, how do we, as Black professionals, but specifically Black women, especially since we've had a Black woman that was running for president. So I feel
Right.
like that also puts another pressure on us, a beautiful pressure because we were very hyped for her. But you're looking at us as I don't know, just how do we navigate those spaces after post election and honestly for the next 4 years?
And so, you know, I think what the thing for me is like, how they talk about like microaggression or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
the it's like how can I say it? What's being done is not no longer like micro. It's like
At
being
all,
done on a major, like
major,
outright, like I want you to know
100%.
that I don't like you or
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, I've worked and I shared with you
Hmm.
about someone that I thought we was cool
Right.
and like came to like invited to family stuff, you know what I
Right.
mean?
Hmm.
And it was very, very sad to see that this particular person was
Hmm.
this way. And it's like, so, you know, you
Yeah.
sitting there like, is that you? Is that
Round two,
you?
round two, yeah, it matters.
Yeah.
I will
And
say
it's like,
I also had a very close friend. Round one, and I felt some type of way, but again, I think and I say round one, his first 4 years. I think it was like, oh, we can get away with oh, you're a Republican. Oh, I'm a Democrat. We could get away with that, even though everybody still was like, why, what is going on? But round two, this current one, like, oh no, it's clear. It's
yeah,
clear that there's some issues here. So no, we can't be on the same wavelength.
absolutely
I can't
not.
give any passes. I'm sorry. I know some people. I know we've seen things like, oh, you shouldn't let that break up family or friendships or anything. No, yeah, yeah. This time around, we have a lot on the line. We're seeing a lot, and I think I won't lie. I got rid of a lot of people. I won't say a lot
Girl,
because I had people that were, it wasn't too many that was far off, but yeah. But I can't get rid of my coworkers, and
right.
I
But
can't
I
get rid of the doctor.
no, you
So
can't. And I think the important thing is to know that we have to protect ourselves in
yes,
definitely want to keep it professional, right?
a
Because you
hundred.
work too hard to get where you are. You have too much, too much
Mm-hmm.
time that you've done to mold and uh, you know, create your career
Right,
to
right.
where it is today, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's important to know that you can have boundaries. Like
Mm-hmm.
you can have boundaries and you can just check people professionally. I ain't
Mm-hmm.
saying, listen, I'm not saying go off and start spewing out the profanities.
Right. We
And
don't advise that.
right.
You still need your job.
and and you may not like this,
Right,
but you might have to go high,
right.
especially if it's a job that you like. Listen, we try to keep it light, but we also try to keep
For
it serious.
real.
But if it's a job that you like, you might have to, as Michelle said, if they go low, you might not can go lower. Might have to go high,
You might have to go higher.
especially
Yeah, yeah,
especially if you don't want to, lose the job.
yeah, yeah.
But in all seriousness, it's important to know and
Mm-hmm.
understand that you can protect yourself and
Yes.
establish those boundaries and just
Mm-hmm.
make it clear that,
Yeah,
like, hey, you've crossed the line, and
yeah.
just be firm in making your boundaries clear, and that
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't appreciated, you didn't like it, and call
Right,
and say what it was that they said.
right.
Call it out. You want
Mm-hmm.
to talk about it here and say that here in front of me like it's okay.
Right.
Be okay, we're gonna talk about it and address it. We're gonna call it out, and I'm gonna let you know that you've crossed the line.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I'm sorry. This keeps going out. But yeah, I agree 100%. 100%. Keep your boundaries. Also, be an expectation. I think right now, I think um it's fair to say that things are going to happen.
Mhm.
People are going to try us.
Yeah,
Attitudes are going to be on a whole different level. We're going
already.
to already, right?
It's already on a whole
They're
nother
already on a
level.
whole different level. So expect that. Like, I don't want to. You can mentally prepare because you don't know what will happen, but just be on guard. I would
Yes.
say right now, be on guard, but also on the flip side of that is protect your mental health as much as possible. Have things in place, whether it's therapy, take your
Mhm.
PTO days, take your time off. And if you are in an environment where it's too much, start looking for other jobs.
Absolutely.
Is
You
Now is
don't
not the
have to,
time. Yeah.
yeah, now is not the time to be like, oh, I'm gonna stay and do this. Listen, if you're being, because basically it's like a form of bullying, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you are experiencing that or you feel like you're being disenfranchised or whatever the case may be, Um, I agree with Jess. Like, get out of there. You're a
Yeah.
nurse. Like, you can get a job anywhere. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And I'm gonna be honest with what they talking about closing the Department of Education. I don't know how many more nurses gonna be coming out of school.
Hurry up, get your degree.
Sorry.
I was going to say something else really crazy, so I'm not going to say that.
But
But get all your degree
I'm
right.
being serious. You gonna have a you gonna have a job because I don't know.
Yeah,
In all honesty, I don't know how
for
many
real.
more
We don't
nurses.
know.
I don't know if they. I don't even know if they can close the Department of Education or
Right.
how long that will take. But if they're talking about moving as fast as they have been claiming to that they're gonna move,
Hmm.
then hey,
Anything is fair game.
it's fair game. You
Yeah.
gonna be doing a lot of travel nursing then.
Yeah.
Y'all gonna be
Yeah.
listen. I see y'all talk about y'all getting to the bag.
Yeah. It was really
My
going to be a
my
bag
nursing
out here.
girlies and bros are gonna be getting to the bag again.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, definitely 100%. Like for real, take care of yourself. Especially right now is the time to get prepared. Get prepared.
Absolutely.
And like you said, remain professional because we do have to work with these people. And more so, we have to take care of them. Um, because they're still our patients. We're still going to be in environments where we have to render services,
Hmm.
and who knows what you might come against in those areas. So check back to episode 1 where we talked about different types of career choices to get,
Yep.
if it gets too bad, to get out of patient care, because we don't know what kind of patients will be coming through there.
Absolutely.
Like for real,
Absolutely.
it's sad to say, but if you're in an environment where it's too much, like, yeah, you got to take care of yourself. Yeah, and you definitely have to, especially Black women. We don't do it enough already. So now is the time to definitely focus more on
On
ourselves.
you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And like just to kind of go back to what Jess said, definitely identifying familiarizing yourself. I know a lot of times like I always say this, especially to like some of the not younger nurses or newer nurses coming in, I always say and like you know they probably roll their eyes like whatever, but familiarize yourself with the policy.
Hmm.
Because if you feel like you are being harassed or if you
Hmm.
feel like you're being threatened, go to HR. Go to
Right.
HR. That's what HR is there for. Yeah, they're there for the organization, but they also there to make sure the organization don't get sued.
Hmm.
So um you can if you are always familiarize wherever you are always familiarize yourself with the policy, and
Hmm.
that way if you feel like you're being threatened or you're being whatever the case may be,
Right.
report it to HR. And if you don't feel comfortable having a conversation, like I said, establishing your boundaries and having that conversation, if if you're not comfortable addressing it right then and there, and you want to have
Yep.
someone present doing when you have that conversation with the person that's
Hmm.
doing that,
Hmm.
then that's where HR comes in
Right.
and you
Correct.
have a witness.
Yep. And even when you're doing patient care, if you don't feel comfortable going into some of these rooms, get your coworker, you don't have to. I don't like the idea of, because we're nurses and we do have to care for people, that you just have to accept anything.
You don't.
No, no, you don't. If you are getting threatened by family members, or you're going into a patient's room and they don't want you because you're Black, baby, that's okay. Go find Cindy. Tell your tell your manager, tell Cindy, hey, they want you, like, decrease your stress as much as possible. You don't have to
Yeah.
take on things just because. Like, it's okay in this climate, into today's world. It's okay. Don't be a punching bag for anybody.
No, not at all. And the other piece to that is as Jess said, establishing your self-care routine.
Hmm.
Get you a journal, you
Yeah.
know. You can journal. That's another way of self-care. Also, if you have a mentor, like someone that you absolutely trust, like start
Hmm.
to build your support system now,
Yes.
where you can have that outlet to talk about the things, especially like we started off the segment talking about a safe space and being able to have a conversation with someone that understands what's
Hmm.
really happening in your industry. Because if, like
Right.
we said, if you're talking to a family member that works in banking or
Hmm.
anywhere else, they're not really going to be able to relate to what your frustrations or what you're feeling. They're not
Yep.
going to be able to really help you.
Right. Right. So yes, definitely your network, your support system, definitely 100%. We should have those things anyway, but
Yes,
this is the time now to
to
really go
do
ahead
it.
and build that. Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I think it's a
Absolutely.
lot of women, a lot of Black women that are in the same space and in the same vibe where it may be easier now to, even on the positive side, it may be easier to connect with other women, to build that support.
Yes, agreed. And another like some professional or a professional organization, if you're not part of one,
Mhm.
the National Black Nurses Association, they provide a network also to support and advocacy for Black nurses.
Yeah.
So that is another resource.
Yeah. Yeah. I like it. Either way, we gonna do what we gonna do.
That part.
But right at the end of the day, we're gonna do what we're gonna do, but we don't want to
Right.
do it alone. And I think that's the the energy that we should put out there. I think that's what we should focus on in the next few years, at least, at the
Absolutely.
very least, is really, of course we're gonna do it, we're gonna make it, but we don't have to do it alone. And there's so many Black women right now in this moment, we have a shared experience. I
Yes.
think all of us have felt the same way. We all had to show up to work. Well, not all. Some people, probably took off. But whenever you return to work, it was a heaviness. It was a
Yeah.
lot of things that were going on. We still had to show up, and I want to say something crazy, but I'm gonna say it. We had to look at certain coworkers crazy when they want to share their tears and support. No, no, we're not doing any of that. We're going to focus on ourselves. We're not going to be, the safe space for everybody else. We're going to take this time to focus on us and make sure that we're good.
Absolutely. I agree. I feel like um, you know, it goes back to that conversation we had in the first episode where like we as Black women are always looked at as being, superwoman, putting
Mm-hmm.
on the cape to save everybody else. And I think like you said, this is that time for us to make sure we take care of ourselves and that we are creating and setting boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
So because I'm just be honest, you're gonna have individuals that's gonna want to try you.
Oh,
And I
absolutely.
mean, and I don't know what it is. I don't know what this new whole thing is of like I see somebody Black or I see a Black woman and I'm gonna approach this individual that I do not know them.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm gonna say something crazy out my mouth. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the problem. There needs to be like, you need to know, I don't know if they don't know boundaries or they
Mm-hmm.
don't care about boundaries.
That's
But for me,
and it's
I would never go up to somebody crazy that I don't, you know what I mean, talking out the side of my mouth
yeah.
crazy to them and I don't know them. I don't know if they a third degree black belt. I don't even know that if I said that right. But
Whatever degree,
right, but whatever
everybody
degree,
dangerous.
I don't want no parts, okay? I don't want no part like and so I don't know what it is like this whole
It's
like
a wave of
the the
entitlement.
the audacity to walk
Yeah.
up to a black woman. More so I've been seeing like black women and
Mm-hmm.
walk up to a black woman and just come out crazy like,
Mm-hmm.
ma'am
Right.
or sir,
Right. Just
Why? Just mind your business. It don't cost you nothing to mind your business. You see me
nothing.
going about, you see that woman, a black woman or a black man, just go about your, leave them
Yeah.
alone.
Leave
If
them
they minding
alone.
their business, they at the gas pump pumping their gas, let them pump their gas.
Yeah. Just leave them.
Nobody looked over there at you and said anything. Nobody
Right.
bothered
Because
you.
nobody
Nobody looked
cares.
at you. Exactly that part. And I think that's the issue. I don't know if it's because we move,
Uh-huh.
how we move unbothered, like we minding our
Yeah.
business, like we literally, like we're minding our business.
Yeah.
And I think people need to, like, if people are minding their business and they ain't all of yours, do you want people in your business? I mean,
Right.
but I think black people in general, we just, that's how we are. We just mind our business. We move
Hmm.
accordingly.
Right.
And I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Like, so I mean, I said all that to say is,
Yeah.
when you see black men, black women,
Yeah.
just
Just
leave them alone, especially
yeah.
if they
Keep it
didn't,
moving.
if they're not bothering you.
Because we in our own little world. We doing our own thing. Without yeah.
And I mean, like, does it, and I don't know, like, does it make your day that much better to, if you see a black nurse or a black doctor or whatever, or a black CNA coming in the room to take care of you, did it make your day that much better to, you know, to
Hmm.
call them something derogatory?
Right.
Or, you know what I mean? You have to be a miserable somebody. First of all, you're in a
Right.
hospital.
Or a facility.
Right, you're in a hospital, in a facility.
You need the
And if
help,
you're in a
clearly.
facility, 9 times out of 10, your family probably brought you there
Yeah.
because they, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Because it's too much for them to handle,
Right.
but
And
you're
you need
gonna,
the help. You need
right.
the help. But
So like
because
it's
of
like make it make sense.
yeah,
You gonna disrespect the people that's taking care of you though?
yeah, yeah, all the time.
I would be scared.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be, you know what I mean?
Right.
I've always been like very gracious of the people, especially if I've gotten received good care. Like
Right.
I've always been, like, because I
Right.
know what it is to be in their
Hmm.
shoes. I know, like, you probably holding your bladder and probably done had 2 or 3 bladder
Hmm.
infections because you ain't been able to use the bathroom
Right.
like you supposed to. You probably dehydrated.
Right. Right.
You probably went back there and tried and got the
Did it all.
yeah,
Did
you
it all.
probably went back there and got the bandages and the IV stuff that you
Everything.
need. You done with it and got everything. But while you back there, you trying to stuff some graham crackers in your mouth, coming out trying to
Right.
get to the desk to take a swig of apple juice or water, whatever you got in your styrofoam cup that J. Cole say we ain't supposed to. Well, it's called the joint now, the Joint Commission. That say we ain't supposed to have at the desk. And
Right.
so I get it, but
Yeah.
I don't understand the
Yeah.
level of hatred that
Right.
that some individuals
Correct.
that don't look like us are exhibiting towards brown people.
Hmm.
I'm
And
gonna
I
just say
think
towards black people.
right. And with all that being said, sis, bro, go
Hang
to the
in there.
bathroom.
Yeah.
Go to the bathroom in the next 4 years. No more bladder infections. Billy
Go
Bob
ahead,
not,
take
not
your lunch
issue.
break.
Let Billy Bob sit right there. You go take your break. You go eat your lunch. You do it. Get it. Go do what you have to do to take care of yourself. It's gonna get done. Get your work done. Where don't run yourself crazy
No, absolutely not. And I like I say again,
all around.
establish your boundaries. If you see someone approaching you, it's okay to
Protect
put your
yourself.
hand up to be like, stop,
Hmm.
like what you about to do. And if
Right.
you got someone that's calling you out your name, you do not have to stay and take that,
You
especially
do
if it's the
not.
patient and the family that's doing that to
You do
you.
not. You do not. Don't
You
let
are
these places make you feel like you have to. No, and that's where we came. You're talking about go to HR. You don't have to. You don't have to be disrespected,
not at all.
regardless
Absolutely
of because
not.
if you're a nurse, CNA, doctor, whatever, you don't have to be disrespected. You are there to do a job. They're paying you to do a job, and if they are refusing the services, they are refusing the services.
Services. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So What else you
Shout out to
got?
y'all. Listen, okay. I think that was good. That was good. Let's see. What else is on the list? Like on my handy dandy notes. So, moving into something a little
A
bit more
little
positive,
lighter. Yeah.
let's highlight out of all of this, we did have some good things that came out of this election.
Yes.
We have two Black women senators
Yes.
serving at the same time. Let me make sure I get the names right. We have Lisa Blunt Rochester here in Delaware,
Mm-hmm.
and we have um, Angela also Brooks in
Yeah.
Maryland.
Yep.
So both of them are
Congrats to
in
you
it.
ladies.
Yes, both of them in the
Congratulations.
Senate first
Yay.
time. This is the first time that two Black women are serving at the same time. So shout out to them. Like, so
Absolutely.
we still win. We're still winning.
Yes,
So,
absolutely. We are still winning.
yes,
We are still
still
winning.
press season is still on. We still gonna show up for our sister. Because Lisa got a nice little bob. We're still gonna show up. We're still gonna do our presses. And we're still gonna support. Okay, shout out to them. We're happy to see. We're happy. We gonna celebrate our Black women anyway. But that is still
Absolutely. And they deserve to be celebrated, all of them.
absolutely, absolutely. So shout out to them. And then we had another one we want to highlight.
Yes. So, this is Dr. Joanne. She is here in Georgia, and
Okay.
she has the very first mobile psychiatric clinic here in the state of Georgia. And
Woo.
she is doing some major things. She is being able to reach so many people through this mobile clinic, and also just through her telehealth. She is actually bringing like the clinic to areas that are where we talked about like having not having the services
Yeah.
um in their area, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And
Right.
so I think this definitely important to highlight, especially
Yes.
for individuals here in Georgia, especially like those rural areas, um, healthcare desert areas. She is really showing up for the community and really providing those necessary services
Hmm.
that these communities need to, because mental health is just as important as your physical health. They go hand in hand. So if one is not
Correct.
right, the other isn't going to function properly either.
Yep. Yep. So shout out to that's exciting.
Yes, and
And so needed, especially right now. It like goes in the flow of everything. So shout out to
absolutely.
her.
Shout out to her and congrats. I believe she got another like a grant to
Oh,
continue
okay.
to be able to have the mobile clinic. So shout
Yeah.
out to her
That's
on
exciting.
that. Yeah, and if you want to follow her on Instagram, it is Dr. Joanne Psychiatry NP.
Okay.
So shout out to her.
Yeah. We'll make sure we highlight that too.
Absolutely. And just some quick things if you are looking for a therapist or whatnot, a therapist, a psychiatrist, there are some great platforms that you can go and you can look through the
Yes.
pictures and look at the qualifications and
Hmm.
see if that person is a good fit for you.
Yes.
So you can find a therapist, you can find a NP or a psychiatrist on the platform.
Yes.
And these are Headway, Better Health,
Yes.
um,
I'm an advocate for better health. I love better health.
yeah. And
Yeah.
I definitely Better Health, but I would say Better Health has like a bigger selection for
Hmm.
sure. And
Yeah.
so like these individuals, because if you can't find what you're looking for in your area, and like I said,
Yes.
some places are, unfortunately, healthcare deserts, so they may not have the necessary services in your area. You
Hmm.
can utilize some of these telemedicine options for right now,
Yes.
kind of leading into the next topic. So, DEA and HHS talked about earlier how
Yes.
HHS um, affects, they determine certain things and then it all trickles down. The information gets passed out to everyone else.
Right.
So, DEA and HHS have extended telemedicine into 2025. Um, they, and so again, that came about because of COVID,
Right.
right? COVID-19.
Mm-hmm.
People still needed to be seen. And they really weren't having people coming into the office. And so
Mm-hmm.
then that opened up the lines of telemedicine. Um,
Right.
however, they're trying to figure out, is it still needed? Me
Mm-hmm.
personally, I don't know about you, Jess, what you think.
Right.
I'm gonna say yes.
Yeah, I definitely think so.
I
You're
have
reaching more people because not
that
everybody
part.
is physically able to get to the doctor's office, and it's just more convenient. We do everything on our phones and tablets and everything else, so why not be able to?
Right.
Unless it's something that you absolutely have to see in person, I can get that. I see that, but
If
just to
not,
make sure to touch base, yeah, why not?
right. And also, on top of that, like people may not have transportation.
Mm-hmm.
People may not have the money to catch the bus to get to their
Right.
appointment. Rural areas, if they
Yeah.
have to drive. Remember the first episode I
Mm-hmm.
talked about driving, if you have to drive 45 minutes to an hour and a half to get to a doctor's appointment, you are in a
Right.
healthcare desert area. And so I feel like telemedicine really opened up the doors and really
Mm-hmm.
allowed people to get the care and the services that they needed. And that's why you see so many, improvements or health
Right.
outcomes that have improved since, them opening up, the
Mm-hmm.
telemedicine. And
Right.
so I was very surprised to see that them saying they're going to extend it into 2025.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, and they got like, I think they said they got like 38,000 healthcare providers that provided feedback and
Mm-hmm.
in regards to this, in regards to them saying that they were probably going to, do away with it, whatever the case may
Right.
be. But they extended it and they're trying to
Mm-hmm.
figure out how to move forward with
Right.
telemedicine.
So that'll be interesting to see in the next year because if they do get rid of it, it's going to be a lot more home care type things because we're going to have to still see the people.
Yeah.
So it'll be probably an increase in home care, um, maybe even some more demands on the doctor's offices that go out and visit people. That's going to be interesting.
I think probably we'll see a uptick in the ER visits.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
ER
That's
visits are
definitely going to go up.
yeah, shout out to our ER nurses, docs,
Yes.
techs. Um unfortunately, if they do that, I'm just saying if
Hmm.
they do that,
Right.
I'm
If
not
they
saying
do
they
that.
are. If
Right.
they get rid of telemedicine, there probably will be an uptick
Hmm.
in ER visits.
Yep. 100%. 100%.
Yep.
So yeah. Well, I think that was everything on our list, sis.
Yeah, I think so. Listen, I hope y'all
The
enjoyed
key
this.
takeaways. Right. Key
Yeah.
takeaways. Eat your crackers. Go to the bathroom. Stay informed.
Take your lunch break.
Take your lunch break. Don't be disrespected. Find your support system and take care of yourself. We gave great stuff today.
I thought that was I thought it was all great information. Listen, y'all, we try to keep it light, and try to keep some
Yes.
of the comedy in with the seriousness of
Yes.
what
Because
we're
it's very
talking,
serious.
yeah, of what we're talking about, but it's very serious.
Yeah.
And it's sad that we have to still have this conversation.
Literally.
Um, but it's a conversation that needs to be had.
Hmm.
You know, it's unfortunate.
Yep.
It's really unfortunate. It's no
Right.
other way to put it. No, no, it's unfortunate that
Hmm.
we have individuals out there that feel this way,
Right.
and
And that we have to talk about it.
yeah, that we still have
And
to
we
talk
probably will
about it.
have to talk about it in between all the other good stuff that's coming up. We probably will have to revisit it again in, a few more times.
Probably,
But
yeah.
yeah,
And you just know that these are the people that are caring for you. And maybe And that's something we can also have a conversation about in
Hmm.
regards to maybe that's why we can't see the improvement in the quality of care when it comes to Black people and
Hmm.
Black moms, Black birthing moms,
Yeah.
especially, um, that
Yeah.
could, the biases that are there, the
Hmm.
prejudices that are there. Um,
Hmm.
that's another topic, another
Yeah.
conversation
Yeah.
for another
I'm
segment.
sure, like you said, it's
But
gonna come up. It's going to
yeah,
it's gonna come up again. But
but
before we wanted to just, make sure we touch base with everybody and just let you know that if nothing
absolutely.
else, you always can
Abs-
come here and chit chat with us and
You
feel
gonna get
good.
a good laugh. You might cry a little bit, but listen, we gonna give you some information that's
Yes.
gonna be
And
helpful.
some support.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. So thanks everyone.
Yes. Thank you.
Till next time.
All
Take
right.
care. Bye.